Okay guys, welcome to the channel. This is Tactical Prepper. A couple of housekeeping items. If you could please like the video if you enjoy it and subscribe, I would really appreciate it. It's going to allow me to make some more content and hopefully get some revenue off of it. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. So once again, if you do enjoy the video, I'd really appreciate it if you could like and subscribe. All right, so we're out here today with my 2020 4Runner TRD Pro. I just want to start by saying I own the car. This is not a car that's been lent to me. This is not a dealer review. I'm an actual owner, and I think it's kind of important because I think a lot of the reviews that are out there, quite frankly, are a little biased. I think there are people that are either test driving the car, they're borrowing the car, they're a dealer trying to sell the car, but you don't actually hear from too many owners of the car. I can do a little walk around here as I'm talking. One thing I want to note here is, while this is a 2020 and it's new, I used to have a 2016 TRD Pro in quicksand. So I am actually quite familiar with the car, and I think one of the things that might be helpful for some of you is my opinion on this, having come from the 2016 model. At first I wasn't really sure, do I want to upgrade? Do I want to get the 2020? I've already got a 2016. The 2016 only had 20,000 miles on it, so it wasn't really, it didn't need to be replaced. So, what are my thoughts? First impressions, the car's got 800 miles on it so far. I've been driving it for about a month, maybe 2 months. I actually really like it. I did not think I was going to like it coming from the 2016. Well, let me rephrase that. I knew I would like it, but I didn't think it would be a significant upgrade. Basically coming from the exact same car, but it was. It definitely was. The 2016 was really nice. I had zero issues, nothing at all. And when I went to the 2020, I was telling myself, well, it's got a couple of different features. Maybe I'll like them a little bit better. Maybe it's something different. And I could really be honest here, I like the 2020 significantly better than the 2016. And again, same body, same engine, same transmission. So what am I talking about? Why do I like it better? What is different? Well, you could just start, by looking at it, and you can see it's got a different roof rack. The 2016 didn't have that. These are Predator side steps. I paid extra for those. Something you can maybe see over here, I don't know how well you can tell, the exhaust is in a different place here than on the 2016 model. This also has a catback exhaust, which gives the car a little bit more power. When I say a little bit, I'm not saying anything significant, but I can definitely tell the car has more power than my 2016 did. Whether that's passing or just accelerating, it definitely is a little bit more powerful. Another thing that's different, again, these are minor things, but I want to point them out. If you look at the car, if you look at the wheel very carefully, I don't know if you can see it on camera, those colors on the lug nuts are just from the factory, but it has black lug nuts. 2016 had silver or chrome. If you look over at the door, I don't know how well you can see these two indents here, but this has keyless entry. You just touch, it'll unlock. You touch again, it'll lock it. We're coming around to the front here. See, the hood scoop has some black on it, whereas the outgoing model didn't have that, or my 2016 didn't have that. In the grille, you can see under the Toyota logo or emblem, it's got the radar cruise control. My 2016 didn't have that either. In terms of fog lights, this has LED fog lights. Still has halogen headlights, which we'll discuss in a later video, because I will be upgrading those to LED. I did put some grille lights in here. Again, I'll discuss that at a later video. Those actually came out of my 2016. And then once we get inside, there's, again, some additional differences. There's the push to start. As opposed to a key. There's a significantly nicer navigation system. Let's walk around and we're going to get inside. Walking around to get inside, one thing I forgot that I guess I could mention on the outside here, you can see that it's got a sunroof. That is something my 2016 did not have. It wasn't even an option. Coming around here, some additional differences. If you look right here, we've got auto high beams. I do not use that feature. I've heard mixed reviews on it. Whether or not that would excite somebody, I don't know, but for me, I don't really care about that. The sunroof is definitely a nice touch. I'm going to just try to give you a view from the outside before I step in, because then it'll be a little more cramped. Something else that's different, the instrument cluster. Definitely a much nicer display right here. This used to be really small in the 2016, and the resolution looked like it was from 1980. This is significantly improved. The gauges are also slightly different, different positions. We come out here, you can see the nav system, significantly nicer, much larger. They've gotten rid of one of the knobs in the center, and they replaced that with some buttons, but everything else is pretty much the same. Coming up here, the only difference up here, it's got an SOS button. I don't know if you can see that. The outgoing model, or my 2016, did not have that. Again, sunroof is different. I do have a dash cam. I'll talk about that in another video. I think it's very useful. I actually had to use it this past weekend, unfortunately, but we'll get into that in another video. Before I hop into the car, just to show you the rest of it, pretty much exactly like the outgoing models. Another difference though down here, it's got two USB ports in the back. My 2016 did not have that. The mats are actually a little bit nicer as well. I did not get the rear slide out tray. I did want it. It was not an option. Part on the inside of the car. I do own the car, so I do use the car. And as you can tell, there is a lot of storage space back here. A lot of storage. Able to fit a lot of things. But the back, pretty much identical to the other models. Although I will say, I forgot, there is no storage space right here. In fact, there's a subwoofer now, which I think is pretty nice. The storage space that used to be there, I never really used it anyway. Let's hop in the car and maybe we can talk a little bit more about the inside. Okay, I'm in the car now. And I'm going to show you how it starts. I'm going to show you what the startup screens look like. Again, very different from my 2016. As you can tell, I've got 841 miles on the car since I got it. Let's give it a start here. Step on the brake and press the button. So as soon as you could tell, right here on this instrument cluster, the 2016 had nothing like that. It literally looked like 1980. This screen is significantly larger as well. We'll let that start up. Down here we've got the air conditioning buttons, dual climate control. Everything is pretty much like the outgoing, again, function-wise. Obviously this looks different, but it functions pretty similar. It does have Apple CarPlay. You do need a cable to hook it up. I do live here in the great state of New York, and we are overcome with the coronavirus, so I do have some antiseptic wipes there to try to prevent myself and the 4Runner from getting the coronavirus, because that would just be terrible. But anyway, coming back here, the menu, the screen, everything is pretty nice. If you hit home, let's see what we got here. I guess we're at home. If you hit menu, it's got a pretty decent menu. Audio, you can connect it to Bluetooth, which is what I did have before I started filming this video. The map, pretty nice. We'll go back to home. The radio, everything is pretty nice. I definitely like it better than the 2016. Some other really minor things that I noticed, when you put the turn signal on, I don't know if you can hear it, it has a different sound. Again, these are not earth-shattering differences, but when you're coming from basically the same car, it is nice to see a couple of little differences here. So the turn signal sound is different. It has a catback exhaust. The exhaust is louder. It's a little more throaty. Video does not do it justice. You really need to hear it and be driving the car. The audio system is definitely nicer. The heat and AC is pretty much the same. Again, dual zones. I don't use dual zones anyway, so it doesn't really affect me. But the nav is better. Audio is better. It does have Apple CarPlay, which I like. I've used it a couple of times. The phone is pretty much the same. The four-wheel drive is the same. Shifter, the heated seats. Don't mind the anti-coronavirus Purell. If anybody's interested, this is for sale. $799. Only joking. But it is at a premium. The mats. It came with these mats. I actually like them a lot. The 2016 mats I didn't like. I actually thought they looked pretty terrible. But these are nice. It's got some red in it. Like I said, the back ones are pretty nice. The 2016, believe it or not, did not say TRD on the seats. So it is actually pretty nice that this one does. Driving experience, other than that, the brakes actually feel a lot better. Again, not that there was anything wrong with my 2016 brakes, because there wasn't. In fact, the car only had 20,000 miles, and I replaced the rotors and pads. but the brakes just feel better on the 2020. Better acceleration, better exhaust sound, different turn signal sound. I do like the push to start better. I do like the keyless entry better. And I got a pretty good deal on my outgoing 2016. I bought the car in 2016 for $42,000, and I got $36,500 from the dealer. Could I have gotten more privately? Absolutely, 100%. But it doesn't matter because I think that was a pretty fair price. And then I got this. I'm gonna hop out right now and continue this as I'm walking around the car a little bit. I don't think you can hear the exhaust, but I'm sure you're probably more interested in seeing the outside than the inside anyway. Like I said, I'm definitely happy with the car. I have no complaints. I'm glad I got it. It was actually very hard to get. I tried to order it from a couple of dealers. Nobody could order it for me. Finally, I did find a dealer that had it. There was no negotiating. It was the sticker price or I wasn't getting it. So for those of you that do like the car, if you find one, don't try to negotiate. And if they do give you a better deal, take it. Because I'm telling you, there's not a lot of them. So if you want it, you're kind of screwed. You don't really have a choice. You've got to pay what they're asking. Otherwise, they'll just give it to the next person. The tires, same tires as the outgoing. Same tires as my 2016 Nitto Terra Grappler. A lot of people are going to talk about these and tell you good things and bad things. You want my opinion? I owned the car for 4 years. They suck. I didn't like them. They were terrible in the rain, terrible in the snow. I found myself sliding. In my 2016 that only had 20,000 miles, I couldn't even make it up the driveway. We had about 1.5 inches of snow here in New York back in January. I couldn't even make it up the driveway. I almost crashed into the wall. So no, I don't like the tires, but I'm not about to drop another $1,000 to replace them. Once these are gone, I'll probably get the, I think they're the KO2s. I've heard better things about those. Although again, I do not have experience with them, but I've heard some better things. And just to give you a little more background, before I had the 2016 4Runner TRD Pro, I owned a Jeep Grand Cherokee. And I bought the Jeep Grand Cherokee, brand new, 2014, first model year. Thought it was a wonderful car. I thought I was going to keep it forever. I got rid of it the second it hit 3 years old. The Jeep was a total POS, nothing but problems. Navigation, didn't know where I was. I thought I was in Texas. The clock didn't keep time. The fuel cap door wasn't flush. The transmission sounded, I felt like I was getting rear-ended every time I slowed down. I mean, you name it, it was a problem with the Jeep. And if you can't tell from this video, maybe you can't because the car is brand new, but I keep my cars in immaculate condition. There was no excuse for that Jeep. I had the head unit replaced in the Jeep 6 different times, the GPS antenna, everything you could think of. Finally, I was just so fed up, I drove to a Toyota dealer. I said, please take the car, give me whatever you want for it, and I'm buying a 4Runner. And I never looked back, and that was in 2016. And now I've got this one in 2020. It is a great car, unless they come out with something radically cooler that, you know, kind of tickles my fancy. I'll be keeping this one, probably for the next 20 years. It is a fabulous car. I've had no issues with the outgoing one, no mechanical problems. It's very thirsty. But that's the good thing about the coronavirus. The cost of gasoline is going down. So hopefully that'll stay that way for a while because like I said, the car is exceptionally thirsty. I get about 14 miles per gallon. But I also don't drive very far, so it doesn't really matter. I hope this is helpful for some folks. If you have any questions, please let me know. Like I said, I'm going to do some more videos on the car. I'm going to change the headlights out to LED. I'll do another video where I talk about the dash cam and how I installed it. I'll talk about the grill lights, who makes them, how I installed those. And anything you want to hear, let me know. Anything you want me to review, let me know. I'm also an EMT. I also actually run an ambulance service. So I will be doing some medical videos, some prepper videos. I've got a bunch of medical equipment in the car. I keep some jump bags. I'll be reviewing that, what I keep in the car, why it's in the car. I do have a pretty extensive vehicle repair kit that I keep in the car just in case I need it. Not that I will because it is a Toyota. But I'll be reviewing all that. And like I said, if you could please help me out by liking and subscribing if you enjoyed the video, I'd really appreciate it. And ask any questions. I'll do my best to answer. Thanks for watching.